Thank you, folks.
Mr. Chairman, we could continue, if you like, with the responses to the external submissions, and the next one is around air quality and heat smart. So I'll just get Leanne to bring that one up for you.
Firstly, any questions around this? Sorry, Councillor Gilbertson. Well, just before we get there, I had a question around Mr. Kirkwood. He brings this up every year. What's the answer to his issue?
I missed his verbal submission, but I'm taking that it was around the exemption for those already using alternative heating. Is that right? I mean, the issue is one of that any savings made in doing that would be outweighed by the administrative cost of identifying who those people are.
I just wanted to make the point. It's like the buses, isn't it, really?
Well, Mr. Chairman, I wonder, in responding to Mr. Kirkwood, we make that point that a number of services are rated, targeted rate, for example, the transport, and he may or may not use them, and this is a similar scenario. Surely.
Mr. Chairman, I actually agree with Mr. Kirkwood on there, and at the time I argued that, I have resiled my position on the basis that it should be cleaner air, which is the answer for all of us.
And which he gets as a... Anyway, Councillor Gilbertson, you happy to move? Someone happy to second that? Councillor Douglas, anyone wish to speak? Put that motion, and all those in favour please say aye. Contrary, no. Carried. Let's try one more. What have we got for time? Yeah. Biodiversity strategy. So what was the recommendation there?
Well, Mr. Chairman, it's that the request to accelerate the development of strategy is declined and no changes made to the annual plan.
Any questions around that? Biodiversity on page 6, attachment 3. Okay, just before we get there though, is there any questions?
There was number 3 under the issues, enhancement of riparian strips. I'm sorry, I'm going to bang on a bit about this. Is this the famous cows in the riparian strip?
It's all related to that, yes.
Should we address that in the answer to this extent? I'm sorry, I'll turn it to a question if you like, but whether the council accepts here is the council can't hold its head up and also do it, because these are cows on council land I'm talking about, along with anybody who's got riparian rights. Sorry, do you want me to explain it more?
No, yeah, I do know what it's about. It is about cattle in streams that Councillor Rim as well has raised a number of times. Yes, we have leases. We are changing those leases and requiring a lot more control on cattle. We're pretty well through it, but there are a few areas that we've just still got to tick off. But in terms of riparian strips, just I think we have got about 7,000 kilometres of streams in the region, roughly. If you equate that to fencing both sides, it's about 22 million. So we're talking big dollars, and these sort of things need to be worked through over time.
I can't disagree with that, and I'm not saying do it tomorrow. But I asked the question, I remember, and it was answered by Mr. Purley, I think, on behalf of their submitters, that, you know, there is a whole complex thing. It's not just fencing the stream. I mean, it starts way up in the hills or something with trees maybe. But I wonder if we should acknowledge it in the answer to him that this is being worked on, because certainly in the Karamu catchment, if not the Tuki catchment, some work can be done that is quite economical, acknowledging that it's a 50-year plan maybe.
Well, that can be covered in the letter. Yeah. So we had someone was wishing to move that. Councillor Gilbertson, seconded Councillor McGregor. Wish to speak further?
I thought in the plan change 6, we said that the cost of fencing the Tuki-Tuk, all the streams in the Tuki-Tuk catchment over the next X years would be 8 to 10 million or 12 million. So I find that $22 million, either one of those figures is way out, because the cost of, if it's 22 million to fence the regional council area, no?
Perhaps
22 million.
miscommunication. Sorry.
Yeah. So what's this 22 million? The 20
For the region as a whole.
the region. Okay, you're right. So okay. In that case, I stand corrected. I'll just move it.
Standing through the funding for the biodiversity strategy, I'm on it, and I have yet to believe that we're going to really achieve a lot, because I think we're doing it. We've been doing it for a long time, so it's going well enough without any more funds.
Chairman, we got a little bit off the topic of what this one is, because actually both of these submitted in support of the scheme, possibly accelerating it, and certainly in support of carrying the money unspent forward. So in that way we are recognising it. The enhancement, the bit on the drains and the riparian land, is actually a vision of the Environment Centre, which was a drains to stream concept, and it actually was on the principle of capturing the landscape to hold water. So it actually is a totally different issue. And it was just how that work could link with the biodiversity strategy, which is part of the strategy to consider. So in that, we are certainly recognising what they're saying.
Thank you. Other speakers? Councillor Curtin.
Yes, thanks, Mr. Chairman. I will take this opportunity to acknowledge the submitters and their support for the biodiversity strategy. I think that what we're seeing is a growing level of support and understanding of the position of the biodiversity strategy for this council. And as opposed to my colleague, Councillor McGregor, the reality is we're not doing it. We haven't done it. We haven't taken an approach where we look to the diversity of a whole range of species and habitats in the region, and placed value on those, and then used the values that we've defined to guide our various projects and delivery. And I'm thinking, for example, with the tank project underway at present time, there's a gaping hole in the tank, which means that we are not, or have not at this stage, placed a biodiversity emphasis on some of the thinking and planning, and that causes me significant grief. My communications with the staff around this are numerous to say we need to focus on biodiversity. We need to ensure those values are researched and produced, and that those values are able to be tabled alongside the economic values of water quantity, so that a reasonable debate can be had. So great to see ongoing support from submitters on the biodiversity strategy. I'd like to have seen greater acceleration or a greater effort gone on in the current year, and it's disappointing to have to carry forward this resource when the undertakings were clear that we needed to do this with urgency last year. So I'm just concerned that at least we've got progress going forward, and we do have to carry forward in the coming year.
Yeah, I'd just like to reaffirm what Mr. Purley said yesterday, that there is a misconception with the townies that, by having these planting programs down in the Karamu, that will fix the problem, when it actually starts in the hills, and it has to be worked in with the afforestation of the steeper slopes, the fencing of it right back in the hills, rather than just sort of around the easy parts next to the people's homes. And it is, as Murray said, a 50-year program plus.
Wish to sum up? No other speakers? Put that motion, and all those in favour, please say aye. Contrary, no. Carried. Let's break for morning tea and be back here by 20.